The average person is said to spend 15 minutes in the bathroom. Why not take advantage of that time and learn something new? Presenting the 15-minute podcast on weird facts, crazy details, and funny particulars that you'll be able to enjoy while you're taking a on your free time. Welcome to The Shit with Sam Butler.
Welcome to another episode of The Shit Podcast. I have a very special guest, my friend, Ruiz. Gabe. So Gabe.
What's up?
I don't know. It's like Gabe. We talked about it in the other episode. Gabe, but
Gabe. It's also
Gabe sounds weird.
Yeah.
So it's Gabriela.
Some people are very particular about their name. Like, oh no, they correct them. I truly don't care.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're pointing.
As long as there's communication, you're like, grunt twice so I know you're talking to me.
Call me creepy. I don't care.
No, but it's good to have you back on the show. We actually did an episode in Spanish on Friday, and we want to kind of follow it up with an English episode that has to do with the Spanish episode, but not really. But it's mostly because of the proximity of the two things. We're going to talk about the Hoover Dam.
Okay, how close is the Hoover Dam to Las Vegas?
The Hoover Dam's only, I would say, if I had to guess, I didn't like look it up, but I would say it's about 30 miles.
Okay.
From Las Vegas, maybe.
Not in Freedom
37.
Limits?
37 miles, yeah. I was just a guess. It's like, it's not very far. There's a city there called Boulder City, right? In Boulder City, and they actually wanted to call it like the Boulder River Dam at one time. But
have you been to Hoover Dam?
Yes. I actually went to the Hoover Dam as a kid. My dad took us there. He goes, "You gotta go see the Hoover Dam." And I was like, "Ooh, my dad just said a bad word," because dam was like,
of course.
But no, it's dam. I didn't understand what he was talking about. And when we got there, I was like, "Cool." Right?
Because it's impressive in person, right? It's like
you
walk up to it and see, like, okay, monkeys made that.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
That's actually
that has been my approach to any engineering feat.
Yeah, you're
It's a bunch of fucking monkeys made that. That's insane to
That's crazy. Yeah. Like evolved monkeys is what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're slightly better than monkeys. Just ever so slightly.
Yeah. And I would say that some monkeys are better than us. That's all I'm saying, But yeah, that's pretty fun. Well, it was real famous because you had to drive before 2005. You had to drive over the top of the dam to get from Arizona to Nevada.
What?
The highway. The highway went right.
The top part was a bridge too.
The top part was a road.
What?
Yeah. If you look at that movie, Fools Rush In, with Salma Hayek and what's that other guy, Matthew Perry? I want to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a scene in that movie that I remember because I was a kid, and there was a line painted on the road that said Arizona and Nevada, and you would stand on the line and you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, like we do here on the border, like on the bridge, Well, we don't. You all visiting too.
Joe does every time we cross the bridge. He's like, "Oh, I am in the United
every single time."
Every time. It stops being funny.
You know what? I can see him doing it. Like that's the.
This is not a joke. He just does that every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so American.
Yeah.
Just take me to Target, please. Shut up.
But so in that movie, there's a scene where I think she's pregnant. I don't remember, but she's giving birth and she's like right on the line, and all the ambulances.
She was pregnant before you.
Yeah, that's weird. Or either that, or she ate a lot of cheese. She ate a Chicago deep dish pizza. That's all I'm saying, because that's what we had, and we had cheese babies. That's just the way it works.
Crowning.
But the Hoover Dam. So up in 2005, they built a bypass bridge, right? So now the highway doesn't have to go necessarily over the top of the dam.
To avoid damaging the dam, or just because it was
just very, very, a lot of congestion right there. You have something like
bottleneck.
hundreds of thousands of visitors a year going to the Hoover Dam. So now, and so they decided to do like a bypass, and they built this awesome bridge. It spans between the mountains. I think it's the tallest, the second tallest like suspension bridge in the United States, 900 feet tall.
Shit.
Yeah, 900 feet. You know, so 900 feet in meters is what? 300 meters?
Mm-hmm.
About 300 meters.
I hope so, because I just thought it.
Yeah, no, but it's like 3 times 3, right? 300 meters, right? And then, so the Hoover Dam itself, it has a height of 726 feet.
What's that in non-freedom units?
Non-freedom units would be
200?
210 meters.
Okay.
221.
Ooh.
221. It's not bad. I haven't doing it in my head, right? Here we go. 221 meters. So it's pretty tall too, because it, you know.
Huge. That's what I said. Monkeys made that.
Monkeys made that. Yeah. Well, if you look at the bottom of the dam, like the width of the bottom of the dam, in concrete, it's as wide as 2 football fields.
Okay.
Which
like
is
the width.
The width of the bottom of the dam is as long as 2 football fields. So that would be 200
Just
meters.
like concrete expenses alone. How I can't imagine how
200
much it would
meters,
have cost to
more or
build it.
less. 200 meters wide at the bottom, right? And it goes like that.
Makes you say, damn.
Damn!
Oh, I reject that joke.
And the water that's held back creates a lake named Lake Mead. And Lake Mead is so big that it can inundate the whole state of New York.
Okay, so
Right,
they're
that's-
kind of depending on those 2 football fields
of concrete. Oh yeah, this is an engineering marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that it was just so that it would generate hydroelectric power, which what they
It does, right?
Yeah,
It's
the dam. What they do is they put turbines, and water passes through the turbines, and that spins, and that creates electricity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more complicated than that, but not much more than that. And so electric motors, and then the next thing you know, you have and it generates enough power for Arizona, Nevada, and parts of Texas.
Oh shit! Are they all powered by the?
It was parts of it. Yeah,
Okay.
parts of it. Yeah, but I mean, it's that tri-state area, so it's kind of a big deal. But they also decided it would be a good thing to build because it would hold back water that if you live in the desert, if you live in the mountains, you know we have something called flash flooding.
Ooh.
And that's when it rains really hard and the water just comes sliding down.
Works in the Austin flood prevention program. I'm sorry, I know you've explained it a million times, but he sent me videos of okay, here's a street. 10 minutes before a flash flood, how bad do you think it's gonna get? And I'm like, to this part. He's like, nope. Think again, bitch.
Wipes out the house. Yeah.
The whole thing. It's holy shit, a flash flood is.
Yeah. So flash flooding up in there. So this helps control flash flood.
Okay.
So that was another reason for building it. They said there's enough concrete in the Hoover Dam to build a 2-lane road that goes from coast to coast, United States.
Shit.
Yeah, 2-lane. You know, another weird fact about this: hard hats. It was the first time hard hats were used in construction during the building of the Hoover Dam. That's what one of the pages said.
Back then they used soft hats that were mostly decorative.
If you look at that, if you look at them building the Empire State Building, the guys having lunch, they're not wearing hard hats.
Shit, you're right.
They're wearing those soft, newspaper boy hats.
That won't help at all if you.
So this was one of the first jobs that hard hats were used.
I'm just wondering what happened so that at that construction site they said, yeah, we should probably have something a little bit harder on that.
Well, there's all construction sites, and then we should do one on just construction sites, but all construction, one episode about that, but all construction sites historically killed people.
Yeah.
And like,
just numbers wise.
Yeah, every single one. If you look at
put people in dangerous positions, and maybe they're not necessarily trained, and there's not the.
Well, if you look at how they built the Brooklyn Bridge, they made a wooden box, And they would put guys inside this wooden box, and they'd sink the box to the floor of the river. They'd pull the bottom out, and you would be inside this box, and they'd be pumping air into this box, and you'd be there digging in the river floor.
That's insane.
Right? And then they'd slide it back in there, and then they'd bring you up. And all these guys start dying all of a sudden. They don't understand why they're dying. You know, it's like, you're at the bottom of the ocean, like of the river floor. Yeah, so you look at that, the safety stuff was incredible, you know? And the first job site, and we're going to get all like, I'm going to get all philosophical.
Yeah, nerd out on construction.
We'll get all philosophical here.
Protocols.
But people are always like, everything happens for a reason.
The reason
Right?
is sometimes shit sucks.
Yeah, everything happens it's God's plan. And I'm going like, I don't agree with that because 100 people would die on average on a job site. Like
100?
Yeah, 100,
Jeez.
right? On one of these big projects, right? Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, imagine how shitty it would be like, oh, he gave his life for this In-N-Out restaurant.
Yeah, that's pretty crappy, yeah.
Like, okay, Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, my grandpa died there, right?
Ooh, this Arby's on the freeway.
Yeah, and Arby's?
Oh.
Yeah, he died building this Motel 6.
The electrical was subpar.
But the Golden Gate Bridge, first job to ever have netting underneath.
Oh, I heard of that.
150 people's lives were saved
just because of a net.
because of a net. You know, so you look at that and you go, well, they messed up God's purpose by putting that net there. That's all I'm saying, because everything happens for a reason.
My problem with that logic is like, well, God's reason must have been the net then. So you can justify anything with like, oh, well then God gave him cancer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and I'm just going like, all right, whatever. You guys want to think that way, it's fine, but everything happens for a reason, because
sometimes the reason is people are shit.
You make stupid decisions. You know, I think you should take responsibility for your decision. Now, I think you get blessed if you do good things, and I don't know, I think it's just called karma, whatever you want to call it, but you're good to people, good things happen. That's the way it works. But every state in the United States helped furnish materials for the construction of Hoover Dam.
Every state?
Every state. That's
when
incredible.
was it built?
1929, I believe it was inaugurated.
All two states back then?
Yeah. The construction was 1931 to 1936. 96 workers died. Now, if you go to Hoover Dam, there's plaques with their names on them, right? Mm-hmm. And we were told, when I was a kid, they fell in the concrete, and once they fell in, they just kept pouring concrete. So there's no way to dig them out. But some of the articles I read today said that that's an urban legend, that's a myth.
Yeah, because there's ways to dig them out if like they fell, you just like, oh.
Not if it's like 200 feet down and you're pumping concrete. You're not going to stop.
Fair.
You're just going to be like, well, that's.
Because the version of those types of accidents that I've heard is like at meat processing plants, like, oh, a worker fell in the sausage maker and we just let him.
No, that's fake. You'd stop the sausage process right there. You clean the sausage maker and start over. But
I would hope so.
Yeah, but unless it's the Sopranos, you know. But then but how do you get a guy out? I mean, if you look at their placing forms, I think they just leave them in there. But they say that that's a myth. There's nobody in there. So we'll see.
100 years from now, people have grown past the need for dams because of whatever reason, and then you crack open the dam and there's a bunch of dudes there.
I think the technology exists now. I think they could X-ray it and let you know.
There's no way in hell you can X-ray 2 football fields worth of.
That's the bottom. But what if they fell close to the top? Density.
How much denser is the human body as opposed to concrete?
Right? That's interesting. If there's any engineers watching this, could you find out? Is it possible to know if there's bodies in the dam? That'd be awesome.
If there were a way to find out for sure,
that'd be awesome.
It would have been done by now.
You think so?
There's no way that we're the first people to say, hey, what if we just pointed the body finding laser at it? I don't know. There's ways of finding out, but they're not applicable because of the width. That is my theory. I'm sticking to it. You're drunk.
I'm drunk. Hoover Dam's mascot dog.
What?
Yeah. See, so what happens is they're going to build this dam. They want to call it like the Boulder whatever dam. I had it written down, but I've been jumping back and forth. But it was going to be called Boulder Canyon.
Okay.
The Boulder Canyon Dam project. So they're building this thing. Remember, this is late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
All the planning process is going into place. And they're like, we got to build this dam. We got to build this dam. What are we going to do? We need to set up shop somewhere. So they're like, let's look at Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Las Vegas was not the city that Las Vegas is today. Las Vegas was a wilder.
Desert wasteland of.
But it was more like, they said it had like a lot of drinking, brothels, just
Yeah, it was a
very.
place where outlaws gathered to do outlawy things.
So what they decided to do was, let's go ahead and take a look at Las Vegas. And the mayor, to get the business, because they were going to make that like the central hub, the mayor decided to close down some brothels, kind of crack down on crime. Didn't really work. They decided, let's go build a city next to the dam. And they built Boulder City. So that city, Boulder City, that still exists today, was just pretty much a camp.
It's crazy
For
how many
workers.
cities started like
Yeah.
that. Just like, oh, there's work here. I guess I'll sleep here fine, and then
But I think
in Arby's.
I think Arby's. You're craving Arby's today. I had some numbers of how many people, because it was like $49 million, which was the equivalent of billions of dollars in today's dollars. It was the biggest construction project they ever awarded at the U.S. government, and the controversy was that they named it Hoover Dam after President Herbert Hoover. Well, Herbert Hoover was in part by people, not necessarily, I don't know, I have to look it up, but there was a consensus that he was in part responsible for the Great Depression.
I've heard that.
Yeah, so-
Not necessarily his fault, but he could have helped.
Yeah, he had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of the beef that they had with the name being called Hoover Dam.
Immortalizing somebody that didn't
Yeah.
deserve to be.
But cost $49 million, we talked about that.
49.
And the city of Boulder, the thing about I think it said 20,000 people worked on that project.
20,000 people worked on that project,
On the
but
Hoover Dam
90
project.
something, 96
Who
died.
died, yeah. 21,000 men worked
That's
on the dam.
great for 1920 standards, I would guess.
yeah.
Because like people would, obviously having unsafe work
Mhm.
conditions, that's something. But people would just fall down and die from like, oh, my tooth got infected. Oh, this other thing that had nothing to
Yeah.
do with.
No, it was incredible. I mean, 21,000 construction project of 21,000. If 100 people die, what's the percentage there? 0.001 or 0.0005?
So for this, it was 0.5% people died.
Yeah, 0.005. Yeah, so half a person. No, but that's it. You know, Hoover Dam. It's creates Lake Mead. Lake Mead is big enough to flood all of New York City, so that's pretty awesome.
That's insane.
And that wraps it up on. It said that there was something like 20,000 vehicles that drive over Hoover Dam each day. 20,000
Each day?
Each day.
Okay.
So that's a lot of congestion. Yeah. I don't know what we get over the bridge here a day from El Paso and Juarez, but
Oh, I used to have those numbers, but I can't remember them.
was it like 10? It was probably like 100,000 a day. I don't know. But that wraps up this episode of The Shit. I hope you all enjoyed it. We talked about Hoover Dam. If you get a chance to go to Las Vegas and you've never seen it, make sure you make a day trip of it. It's worth it. It's,
Marvel at the fact
Yeah.
that we are all just slightly better monkeys who build shit.
yeah. And we're going to let Gabe and Joe take the earth moving equipment to Hoover Dam.
Oh, yes,
And, no, I'm just kidding. No, we're not. But it'd be cool.
This constitutes a verbal contract.
Yeah.
We are now obligated to
It'd
do so.
be awesome to go to the earth moving equipment park with you guys. That'd be awesome. Well, we'll see who can excavate the fastest. We'll have races and stuff.
We can compete. You should.
We're gonna have fun. We can do whatever we want.
Yes.
It's Las Vegas. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much for following us on this episode of The Shit. Make sure you follow our page on Facebook. It's Los Cagadienses. Yeah, because we are our own independent nation of people that talk about shit, like shit, and all kinds of shit. But how can people find you on social media?
Soy Gabe, SOYGABE.
Yeah, soy Gabe, like soy milk, but she's soy Gabe.
Like a vegan vegetarian.
People are going to think that that's the case, but no, we should see it real. But you can find me as Tu Amigo Sam, that's TU Amigo Sam on my social media and as well as my YouTube channel. And on all platforms for podcasts, I'm as Está Cagado Podcast. And that wraps us up with this episode. So thank you guys for joining us. Catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.